Hello everyone. Today we're going to check out the GuoGuan XingHen TSM 2x2. This is a weird one. Let's get right into it. Alright, we have the cube wrapped in plastic, and then we have some interesting accessories. Obviously, this is a tool that only comes with this puzzle, so it's a bit new. But then we also have a standard Moyu pamphlet and screwdriver, as well as some additional magnets in the bottom. Last up, some Moyu cards. Alright, so here is the 2x2. I feel like I haven't had a black stickered puzzle in so long. Let's go ahead and do first turns. Okay, I feel like I haven't turned a 2x2 in forever. It's a bit awkward to turn, honestly. It feels a bit, like, really tight and slow and snappy, almost. I think it is probably just a bit on the tight side, because the turning is flowing nicely. And the corner putting is not, you know, it's okay. It's not that great. The magnets also feel extremely strong in this puzzle. I'm surprised at how strong they feel. I guess it is fairly reminiscent of the previous GuoGuan XingHen 2x2. It is kind of like loud and clacky and snappy. It is a 50mm 2x2 for now. So this 2x2 actually changes size, so let's figure out how that works. Theoretically, I can take this tool and snap it over top of a corner piece, and then pull. No, okay. Push and pull, maybe? I want to break it. I feel like I'm pulling really hard. Jeez, it's not as easy as they made it seem in the demo. Okay, finally, we got one off. Now, 7 more to go. And now I can't get it out of this thing. It's like stuck in here. I guess we'll just take a look at this new system while I have this first corner piece off. As you can see, under the corner piece, and this will be the same for all 8 corners, there's this little gear that kind of looks like a spring compression gear from the 3x3s. And so what you can do is you can just take your hand, you don't need a special tool for this, and move it up. And now, as you can see, in this gap here, we've raised the tooth by like 1 tick, and then we could raise it again, like this. Now we've raised it by 2 ticks, as you can see right here. And then if we push it once again, it'll go back down to normal. So basically, it raises up the piece that this corner piece sits on, and it'll bring the corner farther away from the core. And if you do that to all of the pieces, you could make the 2x2 bigger. So honestly, I'm just gonna go ahead and put it up to the biggest setting possible. There are 3 settings. The smallest is 50mm, the standard, and then you can bump it up to 50.75, and then 51.5. So they go in 3/4 of a millimeter increments. But for now, I'm just gonna go ahead and take all of these off, or I'm gonna try to at least, and bump them all up to the biggest size. Oh, that one was easy. Huh. Okay, maybe I'm just getting better at it, because those 2 were pretty easy. Spoke too soon. So now that I managed to get all of the caps off, I can go ahead and we can see the internal mechanism. I mean, it's just like any normal 2x2. You can actually see the magnets here. There's 2 on the edge of each corner piece, I guess. So I guess these magnets are pretty strong because they feel really bumpy. Let's go ahead and move all of these gears up to the biggest setting and see how the 2x2 feels. Alright, so I bumped them all up on every side. Now I'm just going to put these corners back on. Obviously, it doesn't really matter which position you put them back on in because, you know, it's a 2x2, there are no centers. It is kind of hard to find where to put them exactly, but once you get the hang of it, they go on pretty easily. Alright, so here it is. It is now on the biggest size, and as you can see, since the caps aren't different, they're just the same size caps, you do have a little bit of a gap in between the pieces. And honestly, I thought it would be really noticeable, but it's really hard to tell. Maybe it might feel noticeable when you're solving, but just looking at it, it's really not that bad. I don't know, I kind of like it better like this, honestly. I feel like it's just easier for me to grip and turn overall. So I am used to using the Valk 2, which is a 51mm puzzle. So now this cube is a 51.5. It is actually a tiny bit larger than the Valk. So maybe that's why I like this bigger size, maybe just because I'm used to it. And at least just from the turns that I've done so far, I haven't really been bothered by the gap in between the pieces. So I would definitely not say that this puzzle is usable out of the box. It's definitely going to take some setting up because, you know, it's a bit slow, dry, and maybe a bit on the tight side for me. I feel like this cube enlargement thing is just really not worth it, honestly. If you want a bigger 2x2, just buy a Bulk 2 or a GuoGuan 251 or something that's bigger than 50 millimeters. So unless 50 millimeters is too big for you and 50 is too small and you want that 50.75 middle ground, I don't know. I feel like I just don't see a reason to get this puzzle. It's just a gimmick that nobody asked for. So this puzzle is actually only $15. It's not terribly expensive for the features that it has, and it is cheaper than my current main, the Bulk 2. However, is it really worth it? It's hard for me to recommend this one. The adjustable size is difficult to use, and then I feel like once you find the size that you want, you're never going to change it, so the feature just becomes useless. And yeah, you could say the same thing about magnet strength and spring compression, but I don't know, I feel like this feature is just something that no one really needs. Now despite that, I'm very happy to see GuoGuan innovating like this and trying new features. It's just that every new feature might not be a hit, at least not with me. Maybe some people will like this feature. It is also important to note that this puzzle only comes in black plastic with stickers. There is no stickerless option, and it seems like a strange choice in 2020 to be making a non-stickerless puzzle, since that's what most people seem to want nowadays. However, I think they just did this because the cap design needed to be a solid piece, and they couldn't make a 3-color piece design out of stickerless plastic, and it just, you know, it would have been harder to take apart than a one-piece design. However, if you feel like you'll have trouble recognizing shades on a black puzzle, then maybe this isn't the puzzle for you. I still prefer a slightly smoother and softer feeling that I get in the Bulk 2 over this louder, clacky, and snappy one in the XingHen TSM. Either way, I'd like to give a huge thank you to TheCubicle for sending me this puzzle to test out. If you'd like to buy one for yourself, I'll have a link in the description below so you can buy one from their store. Also, if you like saving money, you can get 5% off all your orders from TheCubicle.com with the discount code LCC at checkout, so be sure to use that code. That's all I have for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye. Oh, that was silly.